All right, all right, all right. Let me take these glasses off. Shalom, shalom, and shalom. Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely evening in which the Most High, Ahia has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. I'm coming with a message that was said to be about Proverbs 31. I'm going to cover that somewhat. I'm also going to cover until I see the hand of Yah. Until I behold the hand of Yah. And I'm going to break that down as well. Well, I know we said we was going to speak about Proverbs 31. And I did get into the Bible, and the Spirit of the Most High also met me there, because he's in me, and he met me right there, exactly where I was at. Okay, and I thank him for that. As I began to read and do some like in-depth study, and I found out so much information, and it goes back to what I was saying as far as the book itself. The Bible is a good thing, and we all should have 6 or 7 Bibles in our homes. It is an instruction and a direction guide. Okay, and with the help of the Ruach HaKodesh, you can go a long way. But the book can't take you nowhere without the Ruach HaKodesh. That's the one that has the understanding of it all. And that's why he said, in all you're getting, get understanding. Because understanding is of the Spirit of Yah. Now, we have also understanding in the flesh. Like we have wisdom in the flesh. We have knowledge in the flesh. But the righteous wisdom rests in the Spirit. The righteous knowledge rests in the Spirit. And the understanding is the Spirit of the Father's Ruach. So therefore, this is where you see a lot of things where so many people are going left and calling it right. And it's okay. I've told you all time after time, the Father said it's finished. And he means that. And he made that statement to me again today. So I won't get lost in what he said. He means what he said. He means what he's saying. He say what he means. And I just thank him for being a present Yah. Not one far off distance. I mean a present Yah. What I wanted to do is cover Proverbs 31, and I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to cover beholding until I behold the hand of Yah. I'm going to have to go kind of fast because I'm on my cell phone, and it's not going to, let me see here. Is everything, it looks as if, I don't know if it's running or not, but it doesn't matter. Sister Deborah finna put out this video. When I went into Proverbs 31, I found out that these were just words. I remember the Father telling me about it once I had read it, and I said, Father, I have some of the characteristics of this here example, but something's missing. And the first thing I remember is try it by the Spirit. And when I tried it by the Spirit, it was more to me something spiritual that just haven't been broken down, because it's not something natural that rests therein. So I was like, Okay, so it's something spiritual. This Proverbs 31 is something spiritual, you know, because I tried it by the Spirit and I couldn't get the fullness. So if I couldn't get the fullness, I still had to wait. I had to tarry until the Ruach come and tell me what is it that rests therein that I couldn't get. Find out that it wasn't nothing to get. It's nothing in Proverbs that not one of us shall apply to our lives. Proverbs starts off by being so honest, by saying the words of King. It's so many signatures, so many things in it. In the first verse shows you that you ain't got no business applying this to no one. It is worthless. It is vain. It is vast. Proverbs 31 has nothing in it that should be applied. It's going back to what I was saying to you all. If you go back to Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2, after you leave that scenery, you go into 3 and 4 and 5 because now sin has hit. Anything goes. Anybody can go into this book and smear something. Anybody can go into this book and change a word from down to up. Anybody can do whatsoever. Why? Because after the creation and all that he has given unto us, sin came in and it wiped away anything that can come out to be righteous. So you have to always look in that book and study. And when you studying, you also tarrying. Your first desire is to seek ye the kingdom, and you tarrying for who? The kingdom of Ahia, to seek him. Okay, for the understanding of this book. Okay, so he was explaining, he'd already explained that to me. So I'm gonna get deep, y'all, but I'm gonna get deep in a short time because I'm gonna come off, I'm gonna step down. So all this stuff about the Proverbs 31, if you go to the first verse, and see, I don't have my Bible with me. I stay South County, they North County, because I'm picking up a cup. I picked up one from work. I got to go pick up another one at work. So I don't have to be there to 8:30, but I wanted to bring this out because I'm all in myself right now. I'm all in my spirit and even in my feelings, you know, but the Father is dealing with me, y'all. That's the one thing I can definitely say. He's dealing with me because what I realized. Let me tell you about Proverbs. Let's do Proverbs 31. Now I need you all to go back into Proverbs 31, and when you go back into Proverbs 31, the first verse, it tells you right there, this has no connection to the Father. This has no connection to the Messiah. This has no connection to nothing. Okay? This is another way of seeing how man has placed something there. This is something that has nothing to do with spirit and truth. It has nothing to do with nothing but the flesh of man. This Proverbs 31 is only connected to the flesh of man. It should not be applied to women. It should not be applied to men. It is worthless. When you first go to Proverbs 31, it first says the words, words, of a king. That right there is the first message. If you're in spirit and truth, it should take you from there, letting you know the king is a lowercase. Okay? Now this was a king, and it lets you know it wasn't lying. It wasn't lying. It was telling the truth. Where you take it is up to you. This shows you right now. This tells you right here that you all been living a lie by choice. Meaning you live a lie because you want to live a lie. You walk in darkness and you talk in darkness because you want to be in darkness. You want to live in darkness. You part of darkness. You might have came down here. Ahia might have orchestrated you to be in the darkness. Most likely he did. But I'm going to say this. If you go into Proverbs 31, And you see in the first verse, it tells you this has nothing to do with Yah. This has nothing to do with spirit and truth. This has nothing to do with righteous. This has nothing to do with just. Someone placed it in there to control women, to set a standards for women. I'm gonna tell y'all something. Y'all gonna be off the whacker when you finish hearing what I have to say, because I'm done, y'all. I'm done. So this is what happened. So as I was reading Proverbs 31, and then I also hear in it the first verse is telling you these are words of some man. These are words of some man who mother told him these things. So why are women today trying to apply Proverbs 31 to their lives? Why are women today trying to mimic it? Because men has told them it is the word of Yah. I'm out. It's nothing in Proverbs 31. Even this king is said they don't know where he come from. They don't even know who he is. They say maybe he Hezekiah, maybe he's Solomon, but they never heard of him. You keep on doing a study, he has no history in the Bible. Where did he come from and who did he come from? No one can tell you. Do your study. So it goes back to telling you, like I told you. I've been telling you since I've been on this devil platform. This book has been smeared to control A to Z. Even has smeared spirit and truth so people won't find their way. But what did Father say? Tarry for me and I'll show you the way. So even if they did have this book, don't let that book lead your way. You wait and you tarry, you seek ye the kingdom and tarry until he come. Because this is what I was explaining to you all when I say smeared, but you can't unsmear it with your flesh, your understanding, your wisdom, your knowledge. You can only way you can unsmear it is through the Ruach HaKodesh. He comes to give you the understanding. That's why he said in all you're getting, get understanding, because that's going to give you spirit and truth of the whole matter. So as this individual is talking, they putting this stuff down here, and if you do your search, they don't even know where this king come from. They don't even know who he is. They said, well, maybe is he Hezekiah, or well, maybe is he Solomon? Who set up all that? They sound like, and guess what they said? They said it sounds like a military poem. A military poem. That's why I said some of it matches maybe the way I am, because I get up early. I used to get up early to take care of everybody, and I go be the last one down, making sure everybody's in, taken care of, got what they need. I be the one with the business. I'm always opening up business. I'm the one that's the Father has blessed with my hand. I can do anything with my hand. I'm the one that labors extra hard. I'm the one that makes sure the household, from my husband all the way down to the smallest child, needs are met. Food is on the table on time, hot. Breakfast is prepared, dinner. I met a lot of Proverbs 31, but I still went to the Father and told him, nope, something wrong with that. So he told me to discern it with the spirit. And I couldn't discern it. So I said, since it's in the book, it has to be spirit. And I can't discern it with the spirit. So I'm going to wait until one day you give it to me. And I never did go back. So since he told me to try the spirit by the spirit of what is said, then I say, okay, it is a spirit. It ain't natural, because I hold a lot. I say half of the things that the woman is, but not the whole. And I'm like, wait a minute, but something wrong with this. Not even half of women would hold it like I hold it. So it's still something wrong. So he said, try it by the spirit. So I just assumed it is spirit and it was too deep, but it's not natural. It's not for a woman. I just thank the Father for letting me know that it wasn't for a woman. I always said that. I said, Proverbs 31 is not for you women. Don't apply that to y'all. That is not what they said. This thing is spiritual. Why? Because the Father told me to try it by the Spirit. And when I tried it by the Spirit, it showed that it didn't show me, it didn't give me no revelation. So I said, okay, I will just wait on you to give it to me in the spiritual realm. So I left it there. But what the Father showed me today, he said, look at the first verse, Deborah. I looked at Proverbs 31 and the first verse. He said, now, who's talking? I said, Father, they said it's the word of this king. He said, if it's telling you these are the words of a man, why is it you thinking that it could be spiritual when it's flesh? And he said, keep reading. And as I went on down, he said, the man said, the king, the individual said, these are words that my mother taught me. The Father said, there are another flesh, Deborah. Where's this in here that said, I said? Where is this in here that said Yeshua HaMashiach said? Where is this in here? You don't see it. So it's not of me. It's not connected to anything in the heavens, anything to do with a higher. It's another stage of making women think that they want to keep you at a level. And guess what? It's finished. They got you. They got y'all good. They got y'all so good to the point that you refuse. These women, they got you good. They got y'all quiet, got y'all mouth closed, your head wrapped, your long dress to the ground, looking like a mop. I mean, y'all it's sad. Let me tell you why it's sad. The Father, when he told me, this man, whoever put this in here, they're not saying this is me, Deborah. They're not saying or connecting this with anything in the heavens. Everything in Proverbs 31 has to do with the flesh, y'all. I was like, Father, why couldn't I just read the first verse and see it? Because it says the words with an S on the end of this king. So when I did the search on the king, he don't exist, y'all. He don't even exist. And that's so sad. So I'm like done, because you know why I'm done, y'all? I'm done because after I see the things that I'm seeing it too clear. Let's say, for instance, those two, let me say with Proverbs 31. You all need to do away with Proverbs 31. It is not of Yah. Okay? It is said to be a military poem. You know, a military poem. And you can tell it because everything she does in order, like a military. And I'm like saying, that makes sense. That makes sense. She does everything in order. And notice she's the sergeant. You see, notice that. See, and you don't notice none of that until the Father take you there. When the Father take you there, then you be like, dang. And you told me to try by the Spirit. And when I call myself trying it, I didn't get nothing out of it, but I thought maybe later on in life you would give it to me. He said, no, it is not of me. It's nothing from the heaven. This is not the order in which I have created woman. This is not what I said. So all this time, women been buckling up to Proverbs 31, making themselves look like fools. And it's sitting on the first and second chapter, first and second verse of Proverbs 31, verse 1 and 2. Plain as day, ain't got nothing to do with the Father. This is where I was explaining to you all, I would never deny the book. But I will say this, it's many things been put in there smeared, like when it says man was created for woman, not woman for man. No, everything was created for the purpose of Yah. You see? Help meet is what he was creating her for, to meet his will. He couldn't meet the Father's will. So he had to make him her to meet his will, the will of the Father. So it ain't about the will of the lust and the pleasure and the satisfying a man. It's about we meeting the will of the Father. And that's why you can't see marriage in balance, because they are not meeting the will of the Father. Now, this is what Sister Deborah finna tell you. I'm here. I've heard the 5 cops got locked up. Found out there was a European, a Gentile. He tased the young man in the fight. How you gonna lock up 5 black men and let the white man go? How is it all the famous black people, all the VIP black singers and movie stars and position black people all of a sudden want to jump up and make this issue so big when they've been heathens and Gentiles been killing black men 20 times a week? I don't get it. I do get it. And that's why Sister Deborah say, I will be back, but I'm not coming back no time soon, unless this is what happened. When I see something that I didn't really want to see, but I saw it because I believe the Spirit forced me to see it. He said to me, you don't see how the men are coming together to destroy the daughters of Zion. They're trying to destroy not only her purpose, her name, and her existence. And he said, because there's this Warlock, you can go online and see Warlock. He was on nationwide television saying, and listen to this, y'all, listen to this, that the 5 black men that killed the boy, the reason why that happened was because of women, black women. I said, okay, now, Father, that's it. I said, that's it. That's it for me. That's it. That's it. That's that same one that visited Pastor Dow last week. The same one that had Pastor Dow on his show. Okay, so this is what Sister Deborah said. Until I see that right hand, I'm standing down. Because this is what happened. I got caught up in my spirit. And I began to say to the Father, I'm coming. I'm coming. And I heard him say, didn't I tell you don't come? I said, no. I'm coming. I'm coming. Let me see what this is. I'm still saying to the Father, no. The Father saying, Deborah, stand down. Don't come. Don't come. And I'm starting saying, no, Father. No, I'm coming. I'm coming. I got to come. I don't have no other choice but to come. Because you got me seeing this. I'm seeing it so clear. This is why these men are killing these women. Nobody in the world is seeing what's really going on. And I'm like, you showing me this stuff for what? What purpose is it that you showing me the level of wicked and evil? What is the purpose if I can't come to your throne? So he's saying to me, don't come. I said, no, Father, I'm coming. He said, Deborah, stand down. I said not to come. I said, no, Father, I'm coming. So I said, okay, if I can't come to your throne, I'm going to stand down. I'm going to stand down the way I know how to stand down. But I'm going to stand down. I'm going to come down. Because if you are allowing me to see this clearer than clear, because I know who I am in you, and I know who you called me to be, but what is the purpose of allowing me to see it so clear and yet don't see your right hand power in it? Why is it? Now, see, it is his right hand power because it's his judgment is taking place. Okay, that's his judgment. That's his feet on fire. That's his feet on fire judging the tribe of Judah. This is him doing this. But see, what I want him to do is where I need to stand down. And the reason why he's saying stand down and don't come, because he know if I got to come to his throne, then he got to come down. If I got to go to the Father's throne, then he's going to have to come down. And don't let nobody tell me, because I've already done that too many times to know if he has to come down, somebody's in trouble for eternal. So he's telling me, don't come. Stand down. Why? He got this. You remember when he told Marian to stand down? Aaron stood down, but Marian didn't, because she knew what Moses did wasn't right. But the Father was like, say, hey, stand down. I got this. And he did have it, because in his will, in his perfect will, Moses didn't have nothing when he went into the wilderness. He didn't have nothing. So those wives didn't mean nothing. See, he was telling Marian, stand down. You see? So I say, this is my last video until I see the Father's right hand. Now, the thing about me wanting to see his right hand, I'm not telling him to change his will. I don't buckle up against the Father's will. I don't go over in that area. I don't mess with his will. I just want him to show his power out of his right hand. Because right now, what I'm seeing today, you done took 5 men, killed this one other man, no woman to be seen, and y'all on black men are on nationwide media telling the world it's because of black women. Now these black men that just killed this one black boy, but it's the mothers and black women's fault. Black man who visit Pastor Dowds, the black man who also allowed Pastor Dowds to be on his podcast or whatever, he the one said it. His name is Warlock. And I sit and saw him and I said, Father, I'm coming. No, Father, I'm coming. He said, no, don't, Deborah, don't come. Don't come. I said, no, but Father, I can't take it. Oh, yes, you can. Don't come. He got this. So I want to let you all know, y'all stand around and act as if you're blind to what actually is coming on. So when things start hitting your family, let me tell you, that's on you. That's on you. Because the reality, if I'm able to see it from the wilderness, my eyes is very clear. What bothers me, you don't see nobody doing nothing about it. Is this the Father's will? Yes. But you don't hear. Say, for instance, it's the Father's will. You don't hear nobody. You don't hear not one man. You don't hear not one woman saying, hold up, y'all. Righteousness, where is it? Just, where is it? We ain't looking for nothing but me, mine. Nobody can speak on nothing. And I think that's very powerful. But then going back like he said to me, didn't I tell you the gate was narrow, Deborah? Did not I tell you that the gate was narrow? Yes, Father. But I'm in it. I'm living it. So, Sister Deborah, we'll be back. I don't know if I'm going to be back tomorrow, 3 days, week, a month, but I'm going to stand down until I see that mighty hand of Yah. I'm not going. He told me don't come. Don't come. Meaning don't come to my throne. I got this. So I'm going to stand down and wait for his mighty hand. And you want me to tell you where another error is at? That's the same thing Jonah did. That's the same thing Jonah did. He left and he ran to get away from that place that he saw with his own eyes how horrible it was. Sister Deborah, I'm not running. I'm just wanting to see that right hand. Because even seeing the right hand ain't going to change it. Ain't going to change anything. But I want him, because once that right hand hit one, guess what? Another one gonna rise up worse. Once that right hand hit another one gonna rise up. If that right hand hit this one, ain't nobody gonna even paying attention to it. If that right hand hit this one, ain't nobody gonna pay attention to it. So it's got to be a chaos amongst our brothers, amongst the heathens and Gentiles, amongst our sisters that's lost without a cause, under a second captivity. And Yah didn't tell you to go into captivity. He did not curse you to be in captivity in the land by the heathens and Gentiles, and then turn around being in captivity by your own nation. What the crap is that? My thing might cut off you guys, because I only think I had 30%. But I wanted to come back on the 7 p.m. Central Time, and I want to say to you all again, cut your tails off from Proverbs 31. Don't even, if somebody come to you, say, come on, let me take you where it's at. You want to talk about a Proverbs 31? Proverbs 31, pull it up. When they pull it up, the first word it says, the words with an S. It's not the word. See, the word is Yah. But this one said words of a king. And the king is lowercase. Lost. That's when someone puts something in there. And then when you look up the name of that king, can't be found. Can't even be found. But the history of him, they say they don't know who he is. They never heard of that name, but they just assume it's Hezekiah or Solomon, because it sounds like a poem Solomon would have made. But it's not what Ahaya has orchestrated for us women. This is what I've been saying since I've been on this devil platform, and I'm tired. I want to see the hand of my Father. If he's allowing me to see all this other stuff, come on here. Let me see your hand. I know that, like I said, that hand don't mean that, okay, here, bam, I'm going to end the world. No. I trust that he got it. I'm not going to pull up to the throne. Because if I pull up to the throne, I might be in more trouble than I'm trying. So I'm going to stand down. And while standing down, I'm going to pull away from this platform. I'm going to reboot all of my videos back up. Open them all back up. And I'm going to stand down for a minute. And I'm going to wait on the Father. I'm going to wait to behold some sort of sign to show me what I already know. But with me, he know I'm flesh. But this is out of, when it get to the point, well, where is that now? When Negroes can go on nationwide television and say, these black cops killing this one man has to do with black women. And they said black mothers. Woo! And what I'm seeing, let me tell y'all why Sister Deborah is uptight. It's like he took something and he said, now can you see it all? I'm like, you know, you go on a ride at Six Flags, and it's a new ride. Everybody frightened, and you get on there, you know you're scared, and then all of a sudden it's just barely moving already. You like this, when that's how I was today. Oh my goodness, am I seeing this? I mean, from me walking, from me talking, from me driving, from me going into a store, everywhere was very visible. And I'm like saying, you hear these heathens coming up out of the woodworks talking about this young man that got murdered by these 5 cops. Well, why ain't y'all talking about it when all this other stuff these white cops are killing black people? Y'all ain't talking about it then? I ain't gonna say I don't get it. I understand it. You know where that come from, y'all? Until they are destroyed. Let me back up a little bit. The Bible says in Deuteronomy 28, we're gonna go down this way until we are destroyed. And we are 98% destroyed. That's why the men are out here like chaos, hating on the only thing that was created to meet with them. Ahaya you went into Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2 and called them them. You all become one to meet my will. And the man decided to do exactly what he came to Yah. That woman. And the Father say, when he said that, that was for eternal. They gonna always, and it's gonna back up in the end days when the judgment and the fire is out. They gonna always reply to a woman. Everything coming out their mouth has to do with woman. And I'm saying to the Father, okay, I'm gonna stand down. You said not to come, I'm not gonna come. I'm gonna obey what you said. But I'm gonna stand down till I see that hand. Because there's no need to keep on seeing everything in plain view. Even these people on this devil platform, wicked as wicked can be. They ain't even giving the people no spirit and truth. Nothing spiritual, no word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. No light to see in darkness. Hey, show me the narrow gate. I don't know the way. Come go with me this way. And nobody saying nothing. And I'm like saying, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Am I in the right place? Wait a minute, Father. Wait a minute. What is going on? Now you in the right place. I've allowed your eyes to see and your ears to hear. And when I see these things, and I'm like hearing all this stuff about what is actually taking place with this young man passing away. Wait a minute, y'all. Do you all know within 1 week how many babies died at the hands of their fathers? How many babies died at the hands of their mothers? How many girls from 18 and under been murdered by men? How many girls been murdered by their sisters? How many? Why is it no one? I know why. And that's my problem. So that's what he said. You know already, Deborah. You just feeling that thing. He know I am. I'm feeling that thing. I'm in it in the emotional part and the spiritual too, because he allowing me to see it clear. And I'm going to tell you for the last time, stand y'all tails down off of Proverbs 31. Start to read under the Ruach HaKodesh. And stop listening to these people. I don't care how many subscribers they have and how many likes they have. Do not listen to men, period. Hear the voice of Yah. Seek him. How is it that he can be the number one excellent one, the number one perfect one, the number one great one, the number one wonderful one, the number one faithful one, the number one powerful one, the number one wise one, the number one knowledge one, the number one all understanding, and here it is, the number one that's the beginning and the end and everything between. But then we want to look in the face of a rotten mouth man and a dumb woman. Everybody is out to make money. And guess what? You can't take it with you. People are out here trying to get me, this. How the Father say, build up your treasures in the heaven where no thief. And you all, no one is seeing what the system is doing. The Father said it ain't even closed anymore, Deborah. It's out in the opening, but they can't see it. It ain't their fault they can't see it because you said you blind them. It ain't their fault because they can't hear. You said they cannot hear. But they came down here like that. So no matter if I'm seeing these things out of, and the saddest part, the multitude of wicked and evil is following the rottenest mouth men on the face of the earth. And I'm like saying, I'm coming, Father. Don't come to me. Don't come to my throne, Deborah. Because I don't come. Because he knows when I have to come to his throne, he coming down. And he said, don't come. I got this. I got this. So if any of you all take y'all dumb, stupid tails and follow Proverbs 31, that's on you. And it's plain as day, verse 1 and 2, telling you that these have nothing to do with y'all. And I tried for the 4 years trying to get y'all to understand. People have put their hands in this word and smeared it. But it don't mean it's not a good study guide and instruction. You have to know how to go in it with the true teacher. Don't go in it with the ideal of, oh, this is what it said in Barbados. I'm going to believe it. It says this. I got to live like this. Men want you to do that. And that's where they got them. That's where they got the men. Do this, do this, do this. See, she messed up in the garden. Find out from what the Father is telling me, even that might have been tampered with. That might have even been tampered with, because it was after the sin and in the presence of Satan. Because Eve said things that Yah didn't say to Adam. So why is she saying Yah said and Adam, Yah didn't say that to Adam? So what was coming out of her mouth? What Adam had already lied about. You see? So that's what I'm saying. It's going back to what I'm seeing today. He's showing me that, see, there you getting it now. See, you see, this been going on since then, Deborah. They blamed, instead of coming to me and say, I know you told me not to, but I did it anyway. They said, that woman, you gave me first, her, and she caused me to do it. He said, that's what you living in today. They won't own up to anything. And he wants you to know those are not the righteous men. Those are not the just men. Those are the ones that have been assigned, appointed, and anointed, and ordained to be the way that they are today. And that's his way of comforting me, to let me know you're looking at the worst of the worst, Deborah. Calm down. Calm down. I got them under judgment already. I got them under the fire of my feet already. So if you come, then I'm going to have to come and do something different. And I'm not going to do that. I'm asking you to stand down, obey. Because I'm coming in the spiritual realm and in the natural. Because when I go before him like that, I'm coming full force. I'm coming full force. And I'm telling you, if I had to go, if he didn't stand me down today, I would have been on my way soon as I'm dropped home. Straight to the altar. So I just thank him for being that one that only one that can bring me back down. Can bring me back down in my spirit. Because once I'm back down in that spirit, I'm okay in the flesh. It's just that spirit knowing is seeing things for reality, and it hurts me to even see. Now here it is. You seeing it here, and I'm sitting here reading Proverbs 31. And I said, for Father, in the first sentence it tells you it ain't you. This is not your words. This is not even words that should be applied to us. And the king that spoke those words, nobody in the world know who he is. Not even in the Bible. They say they don't know who it is. Maybe it's a poem from Solomon or Hezekiah. I'm like saying, but why are these men beating this on these women that this is the way they're supposed to conduct themselves? And why is the women taking on Proverbs 31? And he just went and told me, just plain today. See, this is how distant they have always been. It's not just today, Deborah. They always been like that. They've been far from my word. And they don't have no problem with being far from my word. They want to do what some flesh man tells them to do. Some flesh woman tells them to do. They never been on the righteous path, Deborah, where you walk therein. They never been there, nor are they going to get to there, because I'm finished, Deborah. We're in the hour in which is backing up into the minutes. So that's why they're cutting up from the floor up, because they ain't got no chance to even see the narrow gate. They ain't got a chance to even understand or grip spirit and truth. They ain't got a chance because the light is not burning in their spirit. So they ain't got a chance. So they got to go only the way that's left. That is darkness. So he said, let them go. The judgment is going to catch up with them while they're running. it's going to catch up with them because it's faster than they are. And when I heard that man got on that nationwide television and told the world that it's because of black women and black mothers is the reason why this incident with this black. And I said, look what Satan done. Look what Satan just did. And look, I always knew that anybody that attached to that monkey mouth Pastor Dow, and that's what he is, that they will become with that spirit of who he is. And he don't even understand the consequence. And see, the problem is me going to the altar would put a stop to it, y'all. Would say blam, but y'all saying you don't need to do that. I already got them in my scope. He said they think they got it going on. They think they're above me, and that they thinking that because they speak my words, and it's not even my words, out of a book, that they got me. He said they ain't got me. And you know that they don't. You are my prophetess in the wilderness. You know they don't. And I know it. So I'm going to stand down and get off this platform. Because if I remain, I'm going to be disobedient to my Father. So I must step down for a minute. I don't know how long. It could be a day. It could be 3 days. It could be a week. It could be a month. But I'm going to stand down until I behold the right hand of my Father in this world today. It ain't going to end this world. It ain't going. But I want to see his right hand in this. I see his judgment. I see his fire under his feet. I see his fears. Come on, I want to see that hand. Because one thing I do not like is to continue to live and see that man has no fear of the Most High that I've come to know. I know I'm branded with fear, and that's why it's present in me. But to be one that's branded with fear, branded with righteous, branded with belief, branded with faith, and see outside the multitude following the darkness that has no fear of Yah, even while they're in darkness, proclaiming to the world that they represent a God. That's why a lot of them can recruit easily. So let me explain something what he's saying to me now. He's saying, you remember Adam in the garden and how I charged him to not take of the tree. He said, do you see how weak he was? How I don't know why they did that, and I told them don't change the plan. I'm sitting out way North County. Now they got somebody that just shows you can't it's nothing you can do. It's things are out of order. And I think another thing with me, I have to let things continue to be out of the order in which it is and not try to fix them. Even in my household, don't go try to fix it and make it good and okay for them. They got to see the darkness that they walk in. Stop trying to share your light. Stop trying to give people your all, because they can't contain it. But the Father is going to minister to my spirit these days that I'm out. He's going to give me what I'm going to need to keep running this race, to stay in my lane. So Sister Deborah, you all out there that's on my live chat, send up prayers for Deborah in a sense that just call out my name to the Father. The reason why I said that, he got me. No doubt about it. But see, what he's shown me, what I can see on down the line, you all is not good. And I tried to share it with you all in a way that I'm not instilling fear, because only thing I'm fear of is a higher. But I'm going to have to see and behold the things that is right before us. I'm going to have to experience these things in the midst of all of it. And I don't have any problem with that. And I think that's probably the another reason why I want to see that right hand. See, I want to see that right hand. So I'm going to stand now, and I'm going to let the Father minister to me where he wants me to go from here. Because I was disobedient when he said, stand down, don't come to the altar. I said, no, I'm coming. He said, stand down, don't come to the altar. I said, I'm coming to the altar. That's disobedient. But I'm going to stand down and salute his will and his way, because it is the excellent way. It is the perfect way. So I'm going to do that. And in the midst of me doing that, I'm going to be dedicated to spirit, to the spirit realm. Because I'm going to tell y'all, in the last 2 weeks, things are a little bit potent. It ain't like it used to be. That means when I open up the book, it ain't like I have to struggle to precept or anything. It's like the word is looking dead at me, eye to eye. Eye to eye. That's what it looks like. It ain't the norm. And let me go back into this. The accident I had, I already saw it. The accident my nephew had, that real bad accident, broken collarbone, broken ribs, I already saw that. And I shut everything down, knowing that he had revealed it to me. He had already showed me that, and many other things. I shut it all down just to feel that I can survive if I shut it down. So once it happened, I said, nah, I'm in trouble. He gonna check me. Because the first thing, when it happened, first thing I said, what happened? What happened? That's what I said. The moment the car hit me, first thing I said, what happened? What happened? The Father knew exactly what I'm talking about. I'm asking him, why did that happen and you didn't tell me? Why did that happen and you didn't warn me? So when I got home, after everything, the car being towed, the police report and everything, I get home, I said, I know you're going to check me. I knew he was going to check me. I knew before I go to bed, he was going to check me. And he did. He checked me with a quickie. And all he said is, I did last week. I shared it with you. And I even told you the color of the car that was going to hit you. And it was the same color. And at that moment, my spirit went all the way back. Because that's what the Holy Spirit do. Bring things back to your remembrance. Bam! All this happened within a blink. And that's how he checked me. Putting that vision in front of me, what he had been showing me having an accident. So when I heard about my nephew, I put those pieces like that, same quicken, showed me. You already knew that. You saw that already. So somewhere I am denying the things that's being shown to me. I'm denying it in the flesh, and I need to go back and humble myself under the mighty right hand of the Father. In spirit, not in flesh, in spirit, and wait on what he wants to say to me. Because I'm telling you all, it's like everything to me is almost like today, I was even in the midst of me driving. What I was seeing people, he said, Deborah, there's no law. And I said, wait a minute, Father. He already know I was already bent. I said, what you mean it ain't no law? He said, it's no more law. You know how I told you it was finished? It really is. Everybody role playing. He said, everybody role playing. Everybody doing the best they know how, as if there's law. He said, there's no law. It's lawless down there. And I'm like, but Father, that's exactly how I feel. He said, it is. It ain't just your feeling. It's the reality. It is the truth of the whole matter. It is lawless. That's why you see in 5 black men kill 1 black man saying it was about his wife. See? That's what these Negro men are making the issue out of. You see how everything with this guy got killed because he was messing with his mother, that man, one of the cops' wife. The other cops, wait a minute, that wasn't your wife. The white man that tased him, that wasn't his wife. So what's the deal? Instead of just seeing it as wicked and evil and darkness, this is how they added on to. Put a woman in it. You see? Now that man might have been doing that. And Sister Deborah ain't saying that. I'm just showing you the matter, the amount of things men are doing in the tribe of Judah. And the Father is standing, letting them get away with it. But this is what he said to me. What did I tell you in Deuteronomy 28? They gonna be destroyed. Even when they destroy themselves, because the system is supposed to get them to the point where they can destroy themselves or the system destroy them. But they're going to be destroyed, Deborah. And that's why Isaiah spoke to them in 3:25. The men are going to die by the sword. And they're mighty men. That's those who think they so mighty, so bad because they got guns and weapons. They going to fight. They got something to protect them. The Father said they're going to die. The mighty men by the war. And they don't understand the war he talking about is a war he done orchestrated waiting for them. So all this clowning about females, trying to make them look the worst of the worst. The problem I got a problem, y'all. I got a serious problem. Spiritually, I got a serious problem because I want the Father to explain to me, why were we created? What was the purpose for us to be created and take on every position that man refused to take on? We took it on and ran. We weren't trying to be like men. We took on what we had to be the best that we can be to raise these children. Who was we raising? The Father say, those men all over again. I said, but Father, that's a task, another task in itself. Why were we just created to do everything? And they get away with it even to the end days and say that woman is the cause. The Father say, I got him though, Deborah. I had him when they come running to me. You know, at that moment Adam said that, don't you know heavens already knew he was going to say that? Don't think I got my ends covered. So I just thank him for being who he is all by himself. I thank the Father for being who he is all by himself. He don't need me to make him who he is. He don't need me. He's going to be who he is. And I'm going to see him to be just what he has always been to me. But Sister Deborah is saying to you all, I will be stepping down a moment. And hopefully it won't be long. But when I come back, there's going to be fire in my words. So I do leave you with some good news. And that is Proverbs 31. Kick it to the curve. Read it. And then you'll see. These are words of the flesh of a man. Just like a lot of words in there are flesh of a man. And he was saying, flesh is not what you just live on. You live on spirit that take on every word that proceed out of the mouth of Yah. You see? That's why we need the Ruach HaKodesh. We need it. Because flesh can't handle, can't carry the word of Yah. He had to carry it himself and come live in you with it. You think he gonna leave his word down here with these wicked and evil? You think he gonna leave his word down here with these nasty flesh? No, his word is truth. It is spirit and truth. It is not a book. That book is an excellent book for instructions and directions, but man has put his hand in it. Only way you gonna know separate man's hands from your hand is when Yah send his spirit in you. Praise the mighty Yah. So Sister Deborah, it's going to end right now. I'm going to have to head way back south. I'm going to have to also do some chewing out, chewing up, and chewing down, because it really doesn't make any sense in why and how they orchestrated everything different. It don't make any sense. Now, listen how it don't make sense. You went and orchestrated it so you can get a ride from someone else. But who's going to get you to work tomorrow if you don't have this car I'm in? You see how smart they can be to where they done? That's how smart they can be to where they done. See, I see on down the line. I don't see in the back of the basement somewhere trying to do things the way I see fit. Because when it all said and done, guess what I do? If I take this car all the way home, none of them have, three of them won't have no ride tomorrow. They won't have no ride tomorrow. You get the point. You get what I'm saying? That's how they don't think. They don't think. They just changed it and said so-and-so picking me up. How is somebody picking you up? I got to pick you up so you can got to take me home so you can take this car and all three of y'all have a ride. Oh, they don't think. So Sister Deborah, will say unto you, I will be back. And I'm going to open up all my other videos, and I'm going to sit until he pay me a visit and say until he say, and that's what I'm listening to. I'm going to be wait on him. I'm going to wait on my father. I'm going to wait on my father. I'm going to wait on my father. And in that wait, I'm going to listen to his voice and let him teach me what he wants me to know. Because let me tell y'all, these serpents that's out here are biting. And I'm not talking about Satan's serpents. I'm talking about the flesh of man. They have ruined the whole world. When you see wars and rumors of wars, when you see anything going on in this world, don't ever estimate that it's women. These are men creating all this chaos in the world. And they will turn. Now, the heathens and other races, they ain't going to put it on no black woman. They ain't going to put it on their white women and the Mexicans and the Chinese, on your Negro brothers. That's how below the level of spirit and truth that they are. But you can't look at it like, you can't look at it because they there. You can't look at it as if, how would I say it? Now, because you have to look at it like where they were with Yah. You have to go back and just study in your instruction and directions book and see how they conduct themselves way back. So you can really understand what Sister Deborah is saying that's in the midst of them. Because one of them is this. If we were in captivity for 400 years, you would think that would be enough, wouldn't you? He ain't done. His judgment is going to judge us first. Because he knows where the high level wicked rest. Not in them heathens, not in them Gentiles, but in us as a people. Sister Deborah, say I appreciate each and every last one of you all. And I will be back as soon as the Father get on my back. So I say unto you, I appreciate each and every last one of you tuning in. And I will see you again. Shalom and shalom. Trying to see how I get off of here.